I was hired to care for an alien woman, but no one warned me about her eyes. Beginning, I had never thought myself brave. People who sign up to work off-world are usually soldiers, miners, or wanderers with something to prove. I was none of those. I was just a medical caretaker with too many debts, a dull life, and a desperate need to leave Earth. When the job posting came through the Orbital Guild's channel, I almost ignored it. Personal attendant needed. High pay. Discretion required. Willingness to travel. That last line sealed it. The payment was enough to erase every creditor with a single transfer, and I'd be traveling so far that no one could follow me. The briefing was short, almost deliberately vague. They told me the patient was a woman of non-human origin, recovering from long-term displacement trauma. I had studied xenophysiology only in theory, fragments from failed missions and ancient, untranslated logs. No one had ever asked me to put that to practical use. Still, they signed me, stamped my clearance, and within 2 weeks I was aboard a shuttle streaking toward the edge of the Vega system. The facility was hidden in the shadow of a moonlet, an old mining station turned private compound. Guard patrolled every corridor, silent and faceless in black armor. They brought me to a chamber that looked more like a shrine than a hospital room. And then I saw her. She wasn't human, not exactly. Her features held symmetry that made my instincts whisper beautiful, but her skin shimmered with shifting undertones, silver when the light struck one way, faint lavender when it struck another. Her hair was long, translucent strands like spun glass, catching light as though each fiber held a star inside. She lay upon a bed not of metal but of woven organic fibers that pulsed faintly, like the bed itself was alive. Her eyes were closed, and I didn't yet know how much that mattered. The guards gave me no name. They just said, "You care for her. Do not speak of her. Do not look into her eyes." It sounded like superstition, but when I glanced at her face, a chill ran down my spine. The first weeks were simple. I monitored her vitals through strange biointerfaces that pulsed like jellyfish, applied nutrient salves to her skin, and adjusted the room's temperature to mimic the climate of her homeworld. I didn't know where that was, and when I asked, the guards remained silent. At times she stirred. She whispered words in a language that resonated through the air like vibrations in my bones. I recorded them, studied them, tried to decode them, but they defied translation. On the 12th day, her eyes opened. I should have looked away, but I didn't. Curiosity has ruined greater men than me. Her eyes were unlike anything I'd imagined, black voids speckled with moving constellations, galaxies collapsing and blooming within them. My mind seized up, my breath caught, and I felt as though I were falling through infinite space. Images filled my head, battlefields under twin suns, burning palaces of crystal, a woman standing tall with a crown of light. When I tore my gaze away, I was on the floor, trembling, sweat soaking my shirt. She looked at me not with menace, but with sorrow, as though she hadn't meant for me to see. That night, I dreamed of her. Or perhaps it wasn't a dream. Her voice came to me in the dark. You should not have seen. But now you cannot forget. I awoke gasping, the taste of starlight in my mouth. From then on, I understood what the guards had meant. Her eyes weren't just windows. They were weapons or maybe bridges. They could pull me into her memories, her grief, her unfathomable existence. And the more I resisted, the stronger the pull became. She began speaking to me in halting fragments of English, her voice melodic yet heavy with sorrow. "You are, caretaker." "Why?" "Because they hired me." I answered, trying to stay professional. Her lips curved in something that wasn't quite a smile. "They fear me." "You do not." I wanted to say I did fear her, but in truth, my fear was tangled with fascination. Every glance risked drowning in those endless eyes. Yet every word she spoke drew me closer. Over the following days, I pieced together shards of her story. She was a queen once, of a people scattered among the stars. Her ship had fallen, her court shattered, her enemies triumphant. The humans who held her here called it recovery. But I began to suspect it was imprisonment. Sometimes, when the guards weren't watching, she told me of her daughter. Small Light, she called her. A child hidden away before the war consumed them. If she lives, she waits. Her eyes met mine, and despite myself, I held her gaze. Images poured into me. A little girl with the same shifting skin, laughing as she chased crystalline birds under violet skies. My chest ached as though the memory belonged to me too. The guards noticed my growing closeness. Their leader, a grim-faced man named Heron, warned me, "Do not believe her illusions. She is dangerous. Her kind wields influence that corrodes a mind. If you falter, we'll replace you." But by then, I was already lost. The dreams grew more vivid. I saw myself walking beside her beneath alien constellations, my hand brushing hers. I felt her loneliness, her burden, her desperate hope. And somewhere deep inside, I wanted to free her. The turning point came on the 26th day. An alarm blared through the station. "Pirates," they said, or maybe rebels. Gunfire echoed in the corridors. The guards rushed out, leaving me alone with her. Her eyes snapped open, brighter than I had ever seen them. "They come for me," she whispered. "Not to free, but to bind again. You must choose." The door trembled under impacts. I knew whoever came through would not spare me once they found her. My hands shook, but I tore at the restraints around her wrists. They weren't metal, but strands of living fiber that hissed and recoiled as I pulled them free. She rose from the bed with a grace both regal and terrifying, her hair floating as though weightless. The door burst open. Armed men stormed in, weapons raised. And then her eyes. She looked at them just once, and every soldier collapsed to their knees, weapons clattering. Some wept, others screamed, as visions overtook them. I shielded my eyes, but even from the corner of my vision, I saw galaxies swirling. When it was over, silence filled the room. Only she and I remained standing. "You freed me," she said softly. "Now you cannot remain what you were." Ending. We fled the station together. The corridors were littered with unconscious guards and rebels alike, their minds broken or transformed by her gaze. She guided me to a hidden hangar where a sleek vessel awaited. A ship unlike any human design, its hull shimmering as though woven from light itself. Inside, the controls responded not to touch but to thought. She placed her hand on mine, and together we launched into the void. For the first time, she told me her name, Illustra, Queen of the Shattered Constellations. Days blurred into weeks as we traveled from star to star, avoiding patrols, searching for traces of her lost people. Everywhere we went, I saw the effect of her presence. Some worshipped her, others feared her, but none remained unchanged. And I too was changing. My dreams no longer felt separate from waking life. My eyes sometimes reflected starlight, though I tried not to notice. One night aboard the ship, I asked a question that haunted me. "What happens to me, Illustra? What did your eyes do to me?" She touched my cheek, her gaze impossibly gentle. "You are becoming more. You have seen as we see. You will not age as quickly. You will walk where humans cannot. But there is a price. You cannot return to who you were." The thought should have terrified me. Instead, I felt an odd peace. At last, we found her daughter, hidden on a distant moon, living with survivors who had guarded her in secrecy. The reunion between mother and child shattered me. The girl running into her arms, Illustra weeping starlight tears. When the girl looked at me, I felt something stir in her gaze too, not as overwhelming as Illustra's, but enough to know she carried the same gift or curse. Illustra turned to me, holding her daughter's hand. "You saved her, though you did not know who she was. For that, I owe you more than words." And in that moment, I understood why no one had warned me about her eyes. Because words would have meant nothing. I had come to this job seeking money, an escape from debts. What I found was a fate entwined with the Queen and her people, a destiny stretching beyond human bounds. I was no longer just her caretaker. I was part of her constellation now, and as the stars unfolded before us, I realized there was no turning back.